Hello students. So in the previous videos we completed differentiation, at least what we need in the physics, that is completed. I hope you understood it. If you do not, if you have any doubts or if there is particular thing that you are not able to understand or solve, then you can ask me on my number. Today we are going to start with the next topic, which is next part of the calculus, which is called integration. So before I come to the actual part of integration, let us quickly see what we did in differentiation and is there any relation between differentiation and integration. So I will quickly sum up of differentiation. We took a curve on xy axis and we took x and y values of each and we calculated slope by using these formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 or delta y upon delta x. Then we introduced the concept of differentiation. We said that if we bring these 2 points x1 and x2, if we bring these 2 points closer together, so close that they are almost one point, they are very close together, then we can apply a concept which is called limit. So we are applying a limit on the slope that we calculated here, and the limit is that delta x is tending towards 0. What it basically meant? It meant that x2 and x1 points are coming so close together that the difference between them, x2 minus x1, is becoming equal to 0. That means both x2 and x1 are almost equal to each other, both are almost the same point. So this was our concept, and this concept we said that if delta y upon delta x is expressed in this way, in the way of limit, then we can write it like this, dy by dx, which we called differentiation. And then we did some formula and methods to calculate differentiation of any function. So we took a function, we found a particular point. So since we are contracting the function and finding the value at a point, so or at a instant, at a particular moment or a particular instant or particular point, hence it is called instantaneous values. So from average we had the average value, from here to here we had the average value, and by using differentiation we found out the instantaneous value at a point. Now let us come to integration. Now suppose in integration we have this same xy axis and we are given a function whose graph is something like this. Okay, we do not need to take a straight line graph all the time. Differentiation, integration, work on everything. So we took this graph. Okay, there is a starting point, there is an ending point. Let us say the x coordinate of starting point is x1 and the y coordinate is the final point, x coordinate of final point is x2. Now what we need, suppose if we need to find out the area under this curve, whatever is this area, we need to find the area under this curve, then we have to take all the points. What we can do, we can take all the points that are lying on this curve, and if we add all these points we will get the curve. Or in other words, if we know the value of a point of 2 points which are very close together, so close that we can call it dx, just like we did here, we call it dx, and if we have a large number of dx, a sufficient number of dx, then we can add all the dx and we will find the area of the curve. This makes sense? So integration is the process in which we take dx of a function and we add all the dx from the initial point to the final point. So if you think about it, integration is actually the reverse of differentiation. In differentiation we have a function, an entire curve, and we are finding a point. Here we have a point and we are adding all such points and finding the entire function. So in integration we are doing opposite of or reverse of differentiation. So If I tell you that all the points are added, then I can write it like this. This is the sign of summation. Summation means to sum, process of summing or adding things. This is the summation. If I am adding all the dx, if I am adding all the dx from x1 to x2, so I can write it here that a variable n is equal to x1 to x2, and I generalize it like this, dxn. Then what it actually means? It means that when n is equal to x1, then here we have x1. When n is equal to slightly more than x1, let us say there is a point, let us say this is x3, x4, and there are all these points between x1 and x2. So when n equals to x1, then we have x1, plus when n equals to x3, next point we have x3, then next point when n equals to x4, we have x4, then we have x5, and so on till we reach the final point, which is x2. So what are we doing here? We are adding all the values of dx. Now integration gives us a smaller method of set of formula to achieve the similar task. Okay, so this same thing that is written in summation, I can write it in the notation of integration. This same thing will be written as this. This is the sign of integral and dx from x1 to x2. So there will be limits from x1 to x2, but I'll explain this limit part in a separate video. So right now we are just integrating. There are no initial and final limits. We have a large group of different values of dx, and we are just summing them. So this can be represented like this. What does this mean? We are integrating, we are summing all the values of dx. This dx, the same dx. So if we have a function, let us say if you have 3x square, and if I need to find out the integration of this function, then we will write it like this: integration of 3x square with respect to x. Here we did differentiation of y with respect to x, integration of 3x square with respect to x, or integration of y with respect to x. Okay, this will become more clear when I take some examples in the next video.